My beloved child. Listen carefully, because what you are about to hear is not comfortable, not soft, and not something people usually admit out loud. Right now, while you mind your own life, there are people gathering in small circles, lowering their voices, and speaking about your character as if they know your entire story. They think you are very different from who you truly are. They believe they have figured you out. And the shocking part is this. They are completely wrong, yet dangerously confident. This is not random gossip. This is a reaction to your growth, your silence, and your strength that they cannot explain. Now pay attention to this moment, because something bigger is unfolding behind the scenes. The reason people talk behind your back is never because you are weak. It is because you no longer fit into the version of you they were comfortable controlling. You stopped reacting the way they expected. You stopped explaining yourself. You stopped chasing validation. And when that happened, their minds filled the silence with stories. Stories that make them feel powerful. Stories that make them feel superior. Stories that protect their fragile sense of importance. What they do not realize is that every word they whisper is actually revealing their fear of your presence. Here is where it becomes intense, and you must stay with me. These people are not only talking. They are watching. They notice how you walk into rooms without seeking approval. They notice how you remain calm when provoked. They notice how you choose peace instead of chaos. And instead of asking how you became this way, they choose to label you cold, arrogant, strange, changed. The truth is much deeper. You evolved, and they did not get permission to come with you. That rejection, even if unspoken, feels like a personal attack to them. Let me tell you something most people will never admit. When people talk about your character behind your back, they are actually debating their own conscience. Part of them knows you are genuine. Part of them knows you are real. Part of them knows you did nothing wrong. But admitting that would force them to confront their own insecurities, their own compromises, and their own dishonesty. So they choose a safer option. They distort your image. They exaggerate your silence. They misinterpret your boundaries. This allows them to sleep at night without facing the truth about themselves. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. And here is the once-in-a-lifetime revelation you were meant to hear today. The conversation happening about you is reaching a breaking point. Very soon, something will shift. Either the truth about you will surface naturally, or the lies they created will collapse under their own weight. People cannot carry false narratives forever. Cracks appear. Contradictions expose themselves. Someone in that same group will start questioning the story. Someone will notice that your actions never matched the accusations. And when that happens, the same mouths that spoke against you will slowly go quiet. Stay exactly as you are. Because this chapter is not about proving yourself. It is about outlasting the noise. My beloved child. There is something unfolding quietly now, something you cannot see yet, but you can feel it in the way the air changes when you enter certain spaces. The same people who spoke about your character with such confidence are beginning to hesitate. Their words are no longer flowing as freely as before. Their jokes feel forced. Their certainty feels rehearsed. This is because the image they created of you is starting to crack, and cracks make people nervous. They are realizing that you never defended yourself, not because you were guilty, but because you were secure. Silence, when misunderstood, terrifies those who depend on noise to survive. What they are experiencing now is an inner discomfort they never expected. Every time they repeat the story about you, something feels off. The details do not align. The emotions do not match the facts. They replay moments with you in their mind and notice how calm you were, how consistent you were, how real you were. This confusion frustrates them, because confusion weakens control. They wanted a clear villain. They wanted a clear flaw. But all they have are assumptions stitched together by insecurity. And assumptions, when questioned, begin to collapse fast. Here is the part that hits deeper than most people can handle. Some of them secretly admire you. They will never say this out loud. Instead, they disguise that admiration as criticism. They criticize your confidence because they wish they had it. They criticize your boundaries because they never learned how to set their own. They criticize your independence because they are terrified of standing alone. Every negative word spoken about you is actually a reflection of a quality they lack and cannot fake. This is why their energy shifts when you succeed quietly. Your existence challenges their excuses. Something important is happening behind closed doors now. Conversations about you are changing tone. Someone is defending you when you are not present. Someone is questioning why you were ever judged so harshly. Someone is noticing that you never participated in the same behavior they accused you of. This moment is powerful, because truth does not need a microphone. It spreads naturally. Slowly. Relentlessly. The same way lies spread, but with far greater force. And when truth moves, it rearranges respect in your favor without you lifting a finger. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Remember this carefully as you move forward. You were never meant to be understood by people who benefit from misunderstanding you. The reason this means so much right now is because a shift in how you are perceived is already in motion. You are about to be seen differently, not because you changed, but because others can no longer deny what you have always been. Let them talk. Let them speculate. Let them assume. Their words are running out of power. Yours never needed any at all. My beloved child. Something irreversible has already begun, even if no announcement has been made. The people who once felt comfortable speaking about you without hesitation are now measuring their words. They look around before they speak. They pause mid-sentence. This is not confidence fading by accident. This is awareness waking up. They are starting to understand that talking about you did not elevate them. It exposed them. And once that realization appears, fear follows quickly, because people fear being seen for who they truly are. Here is what most will never confess. The narrative they built about your character required constant effort to maintain. They had to remember what they said. They had to convince others. They had to convince themselves. And now that pressure is exhausting them. Truth requires no maintenance. Truth simply exists. Your consistency has become louder than their conversations. Your calm reactions have contradicted their claims. Your integrity has made their stories feel cheap. This imbalance is why the energy around you feels tense yet respectful at the same time. Pay close attention to this shift, because it carries weight. Some of these people are now replaying old moments with you in silence. They are realizing you never tried to manipulate them. You never chased attention. You never sought dominance. You simply lived your life with clarity. That realization hurts more than any argument ever could. It forces them to admit that the problem was never your character. The problem was their interpretation of it. And self-confrontation is the hardest conversation anyone can have. What happens next is subtle but powerful. Their tone changes when your name comes up. The exaggeration disappears. The certainty dissolves. Neutral words replace sharp ones. This is not redemption. This is retreat. People back away quietly when they know they were wrong but are not brave enough to apologize. Silence becomes their escape route. And that silence, unlike before, works in your favor. Because now, absence of criticism feels louder than praise ever did. Understand this clearly as this part closes. You are not being punished by gossip. You are being tested by growth. The universe does not remove challengers until the lesson is complete. And the lesson here is simple. You do not need to correct lies spoken behind your back. Time corrects them more brutally than words ever could. Stay grounded. Stay composed. What comes next will confirm everything you already sensed. My beloved child. There is a quiet reversal happening now, and it is far more powerful than confrontation could ever be. The same people who once spoke freely about you are beginning to feel exposed in ways they cannot explain. They sense that something about the situation has turned against them, even though you did nothing publicly to cause it. This is how truth works. It does not announce itself. It shifts the ground beneath false confidence until those standing on it start to lose balance. They are realizing that their words about you did not age well, and nothing makes people uncomfortable faster than a story that no longer fits reality. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. What is unsettling them most is your consistency. You did not become bitter. You did not grow defensive. You did not seek revenge. You continued to move forward with the same calm presence, the same values, the same discipline. This consistency is now forcing comparisons. People are quietly noticing that you remain stable while the ones who spoke the loudest appear restless, reactive, and uncertain. Character reveals itself over time, not through explanations, but through patterns. And your pattern is exposing the difference between perception and truth. There is also something else happening that they did not anticipate. New people are forming opinions about you without being influenced by the old narrative. Fresh eyes see clarity where others claimed confusion. Neutral minds see respect where others claimed arrogance. This is dangerous for those who try to control your image, because it proves that the problem was never universal. It was personal. The story about your explanation for your character is losing its authority, and authority lost is rarely regained. Some of them are now experiencing regret, even if they do not label it as such. Regret does not always come with apologies. Sometimes it comes as avoidance. Sometimes it comes as forced politeness. Sometimes it comes as sudden silence. They are calculating the damage, wondering who believed them, wondering who doubted them, wondering how close they are to being seen through. This mental weight is heavy, and it grows heavier the longer you remain unbothered. Peace is intimidating to those who survive on reaction. Let this sink in deeply as you continue forward. You are not walking into a season of vindication. You are walking into a season of clarity. People will begin to understand you without you saying a word. The noise behind your back is fading, not because it ended, but because it no longer matters. The story about you is rewriting itself in real time, and this time, it is being written by truth, not insecurity. Stay exactly where you are. The silence ahead is not emptiness. It is respect returning quietly. My beloved child. There is a moment approaching when the atmosphere around you will feel strangely calm, almost unfamiliar. This calm is not accidental. It is the result of tension releasing itself after being held for too long. The conversations that once circled your name with intensity are losing their urgency. People are running out of emotional fuel. When gossip no longer creates excitement, it collapses. What once felt heavy now feels irrelevant. And that shift, subtle as it seems, marks a powerful turning point in how you are perceived. What is happening internally for them is far more intense than what you see on the surface. They are questioning their own judgment. They are remembering things they ignored. Small details. Your actions. Your consistency. Your restraint. These memories are rearranging their understanding of you, and that rearrangement is uncomfortable. It forces them to admit they judged without evidence, spoke without understanding, and assumed without truth. This realization does not come gently. It arrives as quiet embarrassment, as inner resistance, as an unspoken awareness that they misread someone who never misrepresented themselves. You may notice something else now. People who once felt distant are becoming respectful. People who once felt superior are becoming neutral. People who once felt entitled to judge are becoming cautious. This is not because they suddenly like you. It is because they recognize your stability. Stability commands a different kind of respect. It does not demand attention. It attracts restraint. When someone cannot be shaken, manipulated, or provoked, others naturally adjust their behavior around them. Your calm has become a boundary no one knows how to cross anymore. There is also a deeper truth unfolding beneath all of this. The way people treat you now is shaping how they will treat others later. Your situation is becoming a silent lesson. Some are learning humility. Some are learning caution. Some are learning that speaking without understanding carries consequences that arrive slowly but last long. You became the mirror they did not want to look into. And mirrors, even when avoided, still reflect. Your presence alone is doing the teaching. As this part closes, understand this clearly and without doubt. You were never meant to be defended by noise. You were meant to be revealed by time. The conversations behind your back served their purpose, and that purpose is ending. What replaces them will not be applause or validation. It will be something far more valuable. Quiet acknowledgement. Subtle respect. And a recognition that your character never needed explanation. It only needed patience. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. My beloved child. There is a new awareness settling into the space around you, and it feels different because it is earned, not given. People are beginning to sense that speaking lightly about you carries weight they cannot afford anymore. The ease they once felt is gone. Every sentence now feels measured, every opinion feels risky. This is what happens when someone's character outgrows the rumors built around it. Your steadiness has made casual judgment feel careless, and carelessness no longer feels safe to them. What you may not realize yet is how deeply this shift reaches. Those who once doubted you are now using you as a reference point in their own minds. They are asking themselves how you remained composed when misunderstood. How you stayed aligned when misrepresented. How you moved forward without dragging anyone down. These questions are uncomfortable because they demand self-reflection. And self-reflection exposes gaps people would rather ignore. Your silence did not weaken you. It required them to grow or step aside. Watch closely, because behavior always reveals more than words. Invitations become more respectful. Conversations become more intentional. People listen longer before responding. This is not coincidence. This is recalibration. When someone proves, over time, that they cannot be reduced to a rumor, others adjust their posture. Authority shifts quietly. Influence moves without announcement. You did not ask for this. You allowed it by refusing to compromise your values for quick approval. There will also be moments when the past tries to resurface. A comment. A look. A subtle test. Do not mistake this for regression. It is confirmation. People test what they fear losing control over. Each test fails because you do not react. You remain centered. You remain kind without being accessible to disrespect. This balance confuses them, and confusion ends manipulation. When control fails repeatedly, it is eventually abandoned. You are entering a phase where your presence speaks before you do. Where assumptions dissolve on contact. Where your character becomes self-evident. The story behind your back no longer has momentum. What moves now is something stronger. Credibility. And once credibility takes root, nothing said in shadows can uproot it again. My beloved child. A quiet authority is forming around you now, and it is unmistakable to those who pay attention. People sense it before they understand it. It shows in the way conversations pause when you arrive. It shows in the way opinions soften in your presence. This authority was not taken. It was earned through restraint, patience, and consistency. The same individuals who once felt entitled to judge you are now unsure of where they stand. Uncertainty replaces arrogance when respect begins to grow. What is deeply unsettling for them is that your growth did not require permission. You did not ask to be understood. You did not ask to be accepted. You simply aligned with yourself and moved forward. That independence disrupts old dynamics. It removes leverage. It exposes false confidence. They are now realizing that their words never defined you. Their assumptions never shaped you. Their opinions never directed you. And that realization changes the power structure completely. Notice how energy shifts now. Some people grow quieter around you. Some become overly polite. Some suddenly seek your opinion after once dismissing it. These behaviors are not random. They are responses to stability. When someone demonstrates self-control in the face of misunderstanding, others instinctively reassess their position. You are no longer someone to be discussed casually. You are someone to be approached carefully. That shift does not come from intimidation. It comes from credibility. There is also a subtle fear emerging beneath their adjustment. Fear of being remembered for what they said. Fear of being exposed as unfair. Fear of being seen as careless with truth. This fear is not your burden. It is the natural consequence of speaking without integrity. You do not need to confront it. Time will carry it forward on your behalf. Every moment you remain composed strengthens the contrast between your character and their behavior. You are no longer in the phase of being tested by perception. You are entering the phase of being recognized through presence. The noise behind your back has lost direction. What replaces it is quiet acknowledgement, cautious respect, and an unspoken understanding that you were never who they claimed you were. You were always more. My beloved child. A deeper realization is settling now, not just in others, but in you as well. You are beginning to understand that being misunderstood did not damage your character. It refined it. The pressure you endured forced clarity. The silence you maintained strengthened discernment. You are no longer reacting from emotion. You are responding from awareness. This inner shift is subtle, but it changes everything. When you stop needing external confirmation, your presence becomes grounded, and grounded people are not easily shaken by opinions formed in shadows. What many do not see is how the narrative around you is quietly dissolving. It is not being replaced by praise or dramatic apologies. It is being replaced by something far more permanent. Acceptance of reality. People are adjusting their internal stories because reality no longer supports the old version. They see you moving forward without bitterness. They see you staying consistent across different situations. They see you treating everyone with the same calm respect. These observations force alignment. Lies cannot coexist with consistency for long. There is also a powerful internal victory happening that no one can take from you. You have learned who deserves access and who only deserves distance. You have learned that not every opinion requires a response. You have learned that silence can be strategic without being cold. This wisdom did not come from comfort. It came from endurance. And endurance changes how you carry yourself. You no longer shrink to make others comfortable. You no longer explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Pay attention to how your intuition feels now. Sharper. Quieter. More certain. This is because clarity has replaced confusion. You are no longer questioning your worth based on others' behavior. You see patterns clearly. You understand motives without assuming malice. This emotional intelligence places you in a different category entirely. You are not reacting to rumors. You are observing human behavior with awareness. That awareness protects your peace more effectively than confrontation ever could. As this part concludes, let this truth anchor itself deeply within you. People talked behind your back because they could not stand in front of your strength. They assumed your character because they could not access your depth. And now, as everything settles, you remain unchanged, unbroken, and unmistakably yourself. The story that once followed you quietly falls away. What remains is presence, clarity, and a future no longer influenced by noise. My beloved child. There is a final stage many never recognize until they are standing inside it. This is the moment when the outside noise no longer reaches your inner world. You may still hear echoes of what was once said, but they arrive without weight, without urgency, without power. This is not because people suddenly became kind. It is because you outgrew the need to be affected. When your self-understanding becomes solid, opinions spoken behind your back lose their ability to disturb your direction. What is happening now is subtle but decisive. People are adjusting how they approach you, not because you demanded it, but because they feel it. They sense that you see clearly. They sense that you are not easily misled. They sense that you do not move from insecurity. This awareness forces honesty or distance. Those who cannot be genuine will slowly remove themselves. Those who respect integrity will remain. This natural separation is not loss. It is alignment correcting itself. You may notice that opportunities feel cleaner now. Conversations feel lighter. Decisions feel less complicated. This is the result of no longer carrying emotional noise that does not belong to you. When you stop internalizing false judgments, your energy becomes available for growth. Focus sharpens. Patience deepens. Confidence stabilizes. You are no longer proving who you are. You are simply living it, and living truthfully is the strongest message anyone can send. There is one last realization you must carry forward. Being talked about did not weaken your reputation. It revealed your resilience. People learned more about your character from how you endured than from anything said about you. That lesson remains, even after the conversations end. You are remembered not for defending yourself, but for remaining consistent. That memory carries weight long after words fade. Let this part close with certainty. You did not lose anything by being misunderstood. You gained clarity, strength, and discernment. The chapter of whispers ends here, not with confrontation, but with peace. And peace, once earned, becomes the foundation for everything that comes next.